October 28th, the 30th day of me recording in this series, and the intro is still the same. Don't hate, motivate. This one's a little bit different. As you can see, the angle's a little bit odder, and I got it like that. I was like, that's sort of interesting. So we're gonna see how this goes. Honestly, I'm gonna make this a little bit quicker video. We're gonna go ahead and run through a couple things. The first thing that I had written in my notes is I can clearly understand at times that I'm not where I'm gonna be, if that makes sense. What I wrote is, I'm not where I need to be or fully developed yet, but working towards it. And at times it's hard for us as individuals to understand or first register the same thing in others, understanding like sometimes others fall short, understanding that we're all in a growing process. Every single day we age, we either get better or we get worse or we stay neutral, but at the end of the day, we're all growing continually. We're all on this earth that spins and spins and spins, and it doesn't stop for anyone. Time doesn't stop for anyone, and it's so easy for us to get, and especially me to just think, okay, I'm in a different place than I was last year. I'm in a different place than I was the year before that, and I'm gonna be in a different place after this year, and in a different place after that year, and I'm just going to continue to grow and obviously nurture my relationship with God and allow Him to nurture me and to pour myself out with all my heart to the Lord. But sometimes it's just like sometimes there's a disconnect when it comes to others and understanding their relationship and understanding the person that they are, and that's just an interesting thought that I had, and it's pretty beautiful. Also, it's beautiful because like when you can connect and you can really empathize with somebody else and understand, okay, you're a growing person too. It's like we could work through it together, or you could have that like heartfelt sense of, okay, you're still growing. You're still growing too, and we're in this together, and like that's what it's about when it comes to a family and those that you care about, actually genuinely caring about how they're doing, how they're developing, how they're growing, and just being able to see how far they've came or see how far they're gonna go. That's the first note that I wrote. Now the second note is we're gonna go straight to the verse, and that's Isaiah 38:17. It's just I believe just one verse really that I want to hit on. And surely it was for my benefit that I suffered such anguish. In your love, you kept me from the pit of destruction. You have put all my sins behind your back. And we know that, I'm trying to think of we know that all things work for the good of those who love Him and who are called according to His purpose, So no matter what trial, no matter what tribulation, I want to get this out the way. I'm not downplaying anything that you've been through. I'm not downplaying any pain that you've been through, any suffering. I'm not doing that, But it's interesting to think that, sometimes when you look back or as you continue to push forward and knowing that you're suffering, for a purpose, knowing that you're facing persecution, or knowing that you're going through certain tests and you have God on your side, there's a sense of peace and a sense of joy that comes from being able to look back on such things and be like, okay, that brought me closer to God. That caused me to keep Him first in my life. That caused me to become a person who's exemplary and waking up every day and seeking to be more like Christ and being able to show that and really, I almost said expand, but really exalt the Lord's name through your life. Like that's a beautiful thing. So that's that. And then the last thing that I said, we're going quick, we're at 5 minutes. Last thing that I wrote is, it's interesting to think that when we're speaking of things with the heart, speaking of emotions, speaking of like, oh, I'll pour it out my heart, or speaking of giving a person on your heart, or wearing your heart on your sleeve, or having a good heart, having a pure heart, that has like, and correct me in the future if I'm wrong on this, that like has nothing to do with your physical heart working, you know? But you could always from what I noticed, you can a lot of times make connections between the organ of the heart and the heart, which is like, I don't know how to define that one, but I don't know how to define that one. But when you speak of like wearing your heart in your sleeve, or loving the Lord with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul, you know, that's just really interesting to me, that it really, it doesn't seem like that really has a lot to do with the organ of the heart, but the heart is still called the heart right here. And then the heart that you pour out, that you show care to others, the heart that causes love and gives you the empathy and passions and compassions and kindness that flows out of the heart, aren't the organ of the heart. Now, with that being said, I know it's a little bit quicker video and it's a little bit different, so we're gonna see how this one turns out. Maybe I should like stick my head like up here and be like talking like this, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? But yeah, we're out of there. October 28th, the 30th day of me recording this series. As always, you already know. Be you.